Kuendelea to release Prince Dube.
Kuna tuende. Sikia sasa ilikuwa ametuja. Azan njoo. Chukua tamu yake. Azan. Sikia sasa ilikuwa ametuja. Azan. Njoo.
Here comes Zimbabwe again. Just look at the space on the left-hand side for Jordan Zimura, but the Warriors unable to find him. Certainly would be a disastrous start to their campaign if they were to lose this game today, the Harambee Stars. Here they come again though. Austin Odiambo into the box and just pushed a bit too far. It's good defending in the end. Ball running through to Washington Harambee. It's one of the more experienced players in this Zimbabwe team. John Takwara. Picked up in midfield by Teddy Akumu. And Mikhail Nays, the new Zimbabwe coach, was very frustrated there at the so another opportunity to break forward quickly.
Get to watch. Joga hapa.
Of Lake Victoria.
Uliweka monitor uliingia one.
was up against Tawanda Chirewa. Players in the Zimbabwe squad belonging to Wolverhampton Wanderers of the Premier League. Zimbabwe hoping to tap into that undoubted quality, players playing at that level. Of course, the Zimbabwe national team, probably the most emblematic player would be Peter Love, who starred in English football in the 90s with Coventry City, most notably. It's the end of the first half action here in Kampala this Friday afternoon between Kenya and Zimbabwe, and we wait for the breakthrough. A goalless first 45 minutes in which Zimbabwe have had a couple of very decent openings. Kenya have had plenty of possession without really managing to trouble Washington Harambee in the away goal too much. And as it stands at the moment, in this opening game in qualifying Group J for the next edition of the African Cup of Nations, it is Kenya 0, Zimbabwe 0.
chance ya kukuja kutuattack sana. Na ukiangalia timu ya Zimbabwe wanatumia sana huyu mchezaji anaitwa Tawanda Chiwera ambaye anachezea timu ya Wolves. Na ukiangalia ile nafasi ambayo anaipata anaweza kuangamiza defenders wa Kenya na kwa matatizo sana. Na kama ingekuwa yule kuweza kuisoma hili mchuano, tungeweza sasa hivi tulikuwa tunazungumzia lugha tofauti sana.
Naona kwamba mchezo umekuwa vile tulikuwa tunataka ungekuwa, kwa sababu ukiangalia upande wa Harambee Stars kwamba waliweka mfumo ambao ni kumiliki mpira katikati ya uwanja na vile vile kuhakikisha kwamba sasa Zimbabwe wasikuwa na nafasi nyingi ya kushambulia, lakini wamekuwa na nafasi, Zimbabwe wamekuwa na nafasi za kushambulia. Lakini bado kuna lile tatizo ambalo tulizungumzia la kutokuwa na striker au mshambulizi wa kuhakikisha kwamba anaweka ile pressure au shinikizo kwa wale wachezaji wa timu ya Zimbabwe. Ndio maana kwa mpira inaenda lakini finishing hakuna. Vile vile pia umiliki, tunamiliki mpira. Ukiangalia kwenye kipindi cha kwanza ndio tunamiliki, lakini ile mipira inaenda wapi? Bado kuna lile tatizo kidogo, na ambalo pia naona lile jeraha ambalo amepata Alfonso Mija na Nonja akaingia, bila shaka labda limesababisha kwa sababu ya ile pressure kutoka kwa Zimbabwe.
Naam. Na labda tukiwa hapo kwa haya mabadiliko ambayo yametokea katika kipindi cha kwanza, kuna jinsi yote ambayo labda ameathiri mfumo wa mpira katika dakika ambazo tunashuhudia
na bila shaka kule kufanya ile badiliko halijabadilisha sana. Tatizo ni kwamba labda upande wa mpira kupata ile mipira, ile transition kutoka kwenye midfield na kumalizia, ndio bado kuna lile tatizo tu ambalo lilianza mwanzo, ni kwamba kuna sitting back sana, kwamba wakati ambapo wanapoteza mpira Harambee sasa wanarudi nyuma kama walinzi wanakuwa na karibu watano kuhakikisha kwamba wanabana ule mchezo.
Labda kuenda mpira tukamwona akakuwa na yule false nine katika kipindi cha pili. Wanataka kucheza na false nine, itabidi ameongeza forward ambaye ataweza kwa wale defenders wa timu ya Zimbabwe ile shinikizo kwamba tuko hapa na tuko hapa kujua kazi. Maana tukiangalia hajawapa walinzi wa Zimbabwe ile kazi au ile nafasi ya kuweza kutaka kuonyesha kwamba tunatafuta bao kwa namna fulani. Maana ukiangalia hawa wachezaji mkufunzi akiweza kumpa nafasi mchezaji kama Harambee ama yule mchezaji ambaye ni Ayunga, itaweza kupotea matokeo fulani. Na kama tulivyoshuhudia kuna zile mipira kama mitatu ambayo ina zile passes, unajua kuna rebounds ambao bado inapatikana katika kwa upande wa upinzani mara tatu, lakini Kenya hapo pale inaashiria nini kutokana na ulinzi wetu?
Ulinzi wetu bila shaka naweza nikasema kwamba kuna mahali ambapo tumesuasua kidogo, lakini bahati imetuangukia kwa sababu kuna mipira miwili yule Bidget alipata nafasi, vile vile pia ikakuwa kwamba yule Mnesi akapata nafasi nyingine, lakini ikakuwa kwamba defense ilijaribu sana, vile vile pia goalkeeper. Lakini kuna nafasi ambayo naona kwamba wakati unapata ile rebound ni kama wale walinzi wa pili, tunasemaga second line of defense, ni kama wamenana kidogo. Ile kipindi cha pili nadhani pia atataka nao ambie wakati ambao unakuwa clear the ball, maliza kwanza, na ndio mambo mengine tupange na baadaye, kwa sababu kuacha kwenye kile kijisanduku Zimbabwe ni wazuri sana, especially kwa ile striking force, wanaweza kupata mpira kama ile kwa bao.
Na vile vile the last man of the first hapo ni Brian Odhiambo, sio mlinda lango ambaye tunaona amepangua mipira kama mitatu na
amefanya kivyamo. Ukiangalia rating yake ni nzuri. Kipindi cha kwanza ameokoa sana Harambee sana, pia hajafanya kosa lolote kipindi cha kwanza, labda kipindi cha kwanza amekuwa mzuri
na ile inaonyesha confidence na labda sasa kama mpira na kufuatilia na kuna mpira fulani ameachiwa na walinzi, lakini alikuwa anaonyesha kwamba ana ile confidence ya command line ya kushuka. Na nilieleza kwamba wakati ambapo unakuja na kupiga nafasi ya kuweza kuwakilisha katika namna moja au nyingine, inadhihirika kwamba ni kuamini kwa kiwango fulani, manake anajua ule uwezo ambao uko nao na jinsi ambavyo utaweza kutumia na kuweza kusaidia kwa timu hii kwa nafasi ya mfumo ambao mpira ambao technical na tactical mfumo nataka kwanza kueleza kwa nyuma kueleza kwa tunacheza na midfield swing na interval defense na defensive kwa kana kwamba kwa kutumia kwa namna fulani au nyingine. Na mleko unafikiri kwamba labda Harambee Stars wanacheza kama kocha siku zote timu lazima icheze hapo.
Bila shaka pia kwa zamani mpira amekuwa akicheza na Harambee kwamba ni mtu wa kubana, hataki afungwe mabao mengi. Nadhani kufungwa mabao matatu Harambee Stars wakati wa kile ni vigumu sana. Kwa hiyo anajaribu sana kwa kila kwamba ile defense nzuri na vile vile possession. Sasa angalia ball possession 57 kwa 43. Unajua kwamba Harambee Stars bado anamiliki mpira. Ile possession amekuwa nayo. Shida tena kwa kwamba ile finishing part ile ya mwisho ndio bado kuna tatizo kidogo. Ama labda nazungumza na vijana wake alafu kuna mabadiliko ni kipindi.
Mabadiliko gani labda unatarajia tuyaone ili kuweze kuwa na mabao kwa
pale labda bado kuna tatizo la kujua ni nani anaweza kuwa
ile sacking goal sio?
Kwa sababu tunasema wakati ambapo Olunga hajakuwa na mara nyingi tumekuwa tukiangalia Olunga sana labda na Omala. Sana ndio tulikuwa tukiangalia kama washambuliaji. Nadhani hapo kuna tatizo kidogo. Labda baada atumie false nine katika kipindi cha pili, lakini labda tulikuwa kwamba watumie wings vizuri na labda ile finish ikuwe nzuri.
Naam, tumie mabadiliko gani ambayo labda yanapaswa kufanyika na jinsi kikosi cha safu ya ulinzi inapaswa kukabili mashambulizi kutoka kwa wakinzani Zimbabwe?
Kimtazamo mimi kuna wachezaji wengi ambao wanaweza kujumuishwa katika kipindi cha pili. Vile nimekueleza kwamba kuna wachezaji ambao ni Nambo, Maoni na vile kuna Yunga. Na hata iwe vile iwe Tera. Hata Tera anaweza kuingia maana kuangalia anaweza cheza pale.
Na hayo ni baadhi ya maoni na jinsi mabadiliko labda ambayo yanapaswa kufanya katika kipindi cha pili, ikiwa ni mchuano wa AFCON, kufuzu kwa AFCON 2025 kati ya Kenya na Zimbabwe. Tushuhudie jinsi mambo yatakavyokuwa katika dakika 45 za mwanzo za pili, ikiwa ni kipindi cha pili cha mechi hiyo kutoka uwanja wa Namboole jijini Kampala, Kenya dhidi ya Zimbabwe.
Well, we wonder what the two coaches will have said to their players at the interval. Of course, Zimbabwe had a couple of excellent chances on the break in the first half, and Michael Nace, their recently appointed coach, will have been encouraged by a lot of what he's seen thus far. Kenya forced into change in the early stages of the game, which perhaps disrupted their rhythm somewhat, losing Alfonso Mija from their defence. And time for a quick huddle for the Kenyan players before the second half gets underway here. Well, it will be Kenya to get us underway then in the second half. Eric Omondi standing over the ball. And we are underway once more then in Kampala. Kenya and Zimbabwe 0-0. Half-time, and two teams looking for a winning start in their attempts to qualify for the 2025 African Cup of Nations in Morocco. Apologies again for one or two picture problems which plagued us in the first half, and we hope that will not be the case in the second half, and we have to have the sound back as well very soon. No changes at the beginning of the second half for either team. A reminder that Kenya did make that substitution in the early stages of the game. Amos Nondi coming on for Alfonso Mija. Kenya in white, shooting from left to right then in the second half here. Gautieno taking the throw. He's got that left-hand side pretty much all to himself, getting up and down. Ball flighted across to the near side, knocked out by Rini Onyango. Now it's going to be a corner. All held up towards the back post, watched all the way by Washington Harambee, but he couldn't hold on to it, and in the end, ricocheted off Juka Boya and against the goalkeeper again behind for the first corner kick of the second half, which Austin Odiambo is going to deliver here. Washington Harambee coming off his line and not getting anywhere near that ball. Boya into the middle. This time we'll run through to Washington Harambee. Recently in the COSAFA Cup tournament for Southern African nations, and two beat Zimbabwe by 2-0. Certainly hoping that it would come back down again, but not quite what he intended. Touched by Zamora, picked up now by Kenya once again. Rinamoto fouled in midfield by Abuya. It's about this time in the second half of that Kosovo Cup. In the stadium here in Kampala, but we are also experiencing some sound problems, which is why we really can't hear too much of the atmosphere around us. An excellent career, Camabilia. "34 years old now, back playing in his home country." Well, Michael Nays, the new German coach of Zimbabwe, is thinking about a change. For the moment, his team have defending to do. Again, another corner with English-based forward who's not really been able to make any impact. Harambee, place of Musona. Sendali is a winger, and Shirewa making way. Ball in Scotland for Motherwell. Confirmation that Musona has gone off as well. In comes the corner, cleared away at the near post. And a painful one for the Zimbabwe goalkeeper, colliding with the frame of his goal. Well, the corner was cleared away by Zimbabwe captain Marshall Munetsi, only as far as Duke Abuya, and then led to him hurting, it looks like his right shoulder. Zimbabweans to be a decent start for them in this group. In this very stadium, that is next Tuesday evening. Zimbabwe made that double substitution. And the big hair Calabilia. So one or two moments in this game where he's been able to play a key pass, but in general, he's found the physicality of the Kenyan players to be a challenge today. Here comes Zimbabwe. See if the substitutes can make an impact on this game. It looks like going to play on the flanks. That's what he say on the left, and Msindani on the right. Jordan Zamura comes into the penalty box, laid off by Prince Dubé, and the shot from Bilia. Well, he caressed it, trying to curl one into the top corner, and it wasn't far over the bar. Well, it's good play from the Warriors, the space to run into for Jordan Zamura. Back it came to Prince Dubé, and then Bilia with the effort. More than 2/3 of the way through this game now. An excellent ball out to the left flank. Picked up by Rina Mota. Marshall Munetsi Well, I mentioned Kenya's start to qualifying for the next World Cup. Zimbabwe, meanwhile, had a famous 1-1 draw with Nigeria in one of their opening games, despite being forced to play that home fixture in Rwanda. And otherwise, haven't found it going too easy. Drew 0-0 with Rwanda just before playing the Nigerians, and then a 2-0 defeat against Lesotho in another home game that was played on neutral territory in Johannesburg before a 3-1 defeat in South Africa against Bafana Bafana. It's left them in a difficult position, I think it's fair to say, in their qualifying group. So the referee reaches for his pocket again. Another heavy collision. Well, Amos Nondi is on the ground, but the Zimbabwean player is apparently in some pain, and it looks like he is going to get the card here. Well, let's see this in slow motion. Nondi sets off on the run. The challenge comes in from Gerald Takwara, who committed himself to it. Well, Nondi's studs do rake down the leg of the Zimbabwe player, but I'm not sure he could have done anything differently there, to be fair. The treatment needed for both players. And it looks like the referee is going to present the yellow card to Gerald Takwara. Recently moved to Iraq to play his club football. Feeling the pain of that challenge. Underway again, Kenya restarting things, and Takwara waiting for the green light to come back on. For the moment, Kenya have the extra man. Brought down by Omondi, picked up by Billiat. Well, we're coming up to the midway point in the second half and still waiting for a bit of quality in front of goal. It's still 0-0 between Kenya and Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe team who did participate in the qualifying campaign for the last AFCON, who scored just 2 goals in 4 matches so far in qualifying for the 2026 World Cup. One of them came in that 1-1 draw with the Nigerian Super Eagles when Walter Musona put them ahead that day, only from Kelechi Iheanacho to equalise for the Nigerians in November last year. Well, meanwhile, Kenya about to make their second substitution. This is Rumi Onyango, the Gor Mahia player. His club have been in Champions League action already at the tail end of last month. Getting the better of opposition from South Sudan to secure their place in the second round and qualifying for the group stage of this season's CAF Champions League. The bad news for Gor Mahia is that their opponents in the second round will be the mighty Al Ahly of Egypt. First leg to come, not this weekend, but the following weekend. And then the return leg in Cairo the weekend after that one. Gor Mahia will be able to host Al Ahly in their own Nyayo National Stadium in Nairobi, which Kenya are not able to use at the moment. Of course, Kenya is getting ready in terms of infrastructure as well as in terms of its national team for not so much the next AFCON, but the one after that, which they will co-host. Ball into the middle, and it's Joseph Okumu who turns it behind for a Zimbabwe corner. Unusually today, the rival captains are teammates at club level. Joseph Okumu joining Marshall Munetsi last year at the French top flight team Reims. Well, it will be Tawanta Maswanise who will deliver this corner kick for Zimbabwe. Helped on at the near post, and it does count as an attempt on target, but an easy save for a Mondian goal. Now then, Avire the substitute. Those fresh legs of his. Picked up by Nonti. Takwara gives it back to his goalkeeper. Here's Kamabilia. Clever ball down the line from him, and Zamura trying to skip away from Akumu. Jordan Zamura, formerly Bournemouth in England, before making a move to Italy to play for Udinese. Majority of this Zimbabwe team are playing the goalkeeper. The place, including of course Joseph Okumu at Reims in France. In the Kenya team, Marshall Munetsi in the Zimbabwe team, a teammate of his. Kenya coming forward again, the ball across the penalty box, and it will run behind for the throw-in. There was plenty of good intentions today. Again down that left-hand side, but the final ball has been missing. Odiambo, is he onside? The referee is having a look across to the assistant. He is onside. Amos Nonti. the Kenya coach will be watching this and wondering. Zimbabwe defence, I think it just needs a bit more quality in the final third, and the chances will come. Kenya, number 12, needs to be a little bit careful, having been booked earlier on. Andy Rinamoto again. 15 minutes of the 90 remaining. Well, Rinamoto trying to hold off Eric Otieno, but was sent to the ground and not able to win a penalty for that, that's for sure. But he's left there as Kenya break forward at the other end. Are we going to see a goal this afternoon in Kampala? Kamapiliat for Zimbabwe. Driving forward ahead of him is Marshall Munetsi, the captain. Can the skipper make the difference? Well, it was a very ambitious attempt from Munetsi. He's got that in his locker, the ability to add goals from midfield, but from that kind of angle, asking an awful lot to beat the Kenyan goalkeeper. Haven't seen enough of that from Marshall Munetsi today. He's been perhaps a little bit inhibited. I'm sure that was part of the strategy by the Zimbabwe coach Mikael Nace to ensure that Munetsi just sits really alongside Rinamoto in the midfield. Munetsi again plays the pass to his left. Now then, this time there's space for Mazwanise to run into. Mazwanise from the angle looking to pick out a great shot in the middle. It is going to be a corner, but that's a bit better from Zimbabwe. They're seeing spaces here as Kenya themselves try to commit men forward, looking for the opening goal. And maybe the breakthrough will come from one of these teams in a more open finish to this game. Well, Muruwira is the player who will deliver the corner here for Zimbabwe. The goal now could be enough to take the 3 points. It's always felt like a game that would be a tight contest. God knows Muruwira. With the in-swinging delivery, it nearly came to Kamapiliat. Well, I think Kamapiliat is perhaps annoyed with himself that he didn't make contact with that ball. Again, Murchesful this time. Well, it was done that a couple of times today. Some brilliant last-ditch defending. I think it's Joseph Okumu who perhaps been winded by that block. Look at this first clearance. And then he gets up quickly and receives that shot from Aswanise right in the chest. That is outstanding defending from the Kenyan captain to deny Zimbabwe the opening goal here with 10 minutes remaining. Joseph Okumu, who's been playing regularly in Ligue 1 in France for a good club in Reims, well run, competing high up the table there for the last couple of years. A real defensive stalwart for the Harambee Stars, just lacking a bit of quality at the other end today. Another change to be made here. A Zimbabwe substitution, Prince Dube, who's just joined the Tanzanian giant. Legs on in attack now, but they've got more defending to do here. Odhiambo looking for the run of Otata. Finally breaking free and into the opposition penalty box. Richard Odada, a bit like Marshall Munetsi at the other end, puts Dube off. And Douglas Mafumo, South African side Polokwane City, is the player who comes on. Kenya again, maybe this time. What's the brilliant piece of goalkeeping from Washington Harambee. Well, this match is finally opening up, and Eric Otieno, who's not stopped running up and down that left-hand side all afternoon, getting on the end of the pass inside the box. And all credit to Zimbabwe's experienced goalkeeper Washington Harambee for racing out, narrowing the angle and making a save. Well, you've got to be brave, and Washington Harambee certainly was there, and he's proving that he's still got what it takes at this level, despite having recently celebrated his 39th birthday, of course, for a goalkeeper. Usually they can go on that bit longer. Kenya now looking to make more changes. Looking to go wide for Odhiambo again. Eric Otieno making the run forward. Richard Odada, he fancied the shot. And that is a wayward effort from the midfielder, who is getting some much needed minutes under his belt today, because since his move to Dundee United in the Scottish Premiership, he's played very little at the beginning of the season. Not yet deemed by his manager there to be fully up to speed. And then for those changes, Kapuya, another young Africans player out on the field today, is making way, and so is Eric Otieno, who's put in a tremendous shift on the left-hand side. Olwin Terra will replace Abuya in the midfield, and Abu Domar is a left back by trade. He will pick up the position vacated by Otieno on that left hand side. Well, despite all the changes, despite chances at either end in the last few minutes, it is still 0-0 here between Kenya and Zimbabwe today. Uganda losing out. Maybe an opportunity here for Zimbabwe. Held up by Mafumo. Falls for Munetsi, still alive. Rina Mota out to Jordan Zamura. Mafumo again trying to play it across the face of goal. It's going to be another Zimbabwe corner. Kamabiliak was the target of that pass from Douglas Mafumo. In fact, it is not a corner, and it is going to be Bruno Monday to launch it downfield. With just a few minutes remaining, we should have a good few minutes of stoppage time as well, of course. Confirmation of that substitution, Eric Otieno replaced by Abu Domar at left back, and Duke Abuya making way in the midfield for Olwyn Terra, who is based in Armenia at club level. Runi Onyango. Richard Utada was penalised by the Senegalese referee. Utada does need to be careful, having been booked earlier on. Deflected it nearly completely wrong through to Pelamonti, the Kenyan goalkeeper, and again Zimbabwe looking dangerous when they get the chance to approach the opposition penalty box. Roland Sindami, one of the substitutes brought on in the second half by Mikael Nace, the Zimbabwe coach, trying to get the shot away. And they come again. Mafumo looking to release Biliat. We move now into the 90th minute of this game here in Kampala today. Mandela National Stadium hosting this game with Kenya as the home side this afternoon. It will be Zimbabwe the home side in a few days' time when they face Cameroon in this stadium. These teams will meet again in November, towards the end of the qualifying campaign, and it looks like it will probably shape up to be attack. I've certainly been there before, albeit just once in the last 2 decades. That was in 2019 in Egypt when they did beat Tanzania, but were eliminated from what was an extremely difficult group behind Algeria and Senegal, the 2 teams who went on to contest the final. We are into 4 minutes of added time at the end of this game today. Harambee, newly appointed coach of Zimbabwe. Just unable to bring that ball under control. Owino. Well, Zimbabwe finishing this game stronger. Rinomoto with the interception. Ball out to the near side for Maswanise. Looks for the overlapping run from Jordan Zamora. It's not held by the goalkeeper in the middle. And Akumu eventually clears it. It will be a corner, but shaky defending from the Kenyans. Ability of a dramatic conclusion to this game. Zimbabwe looking for a stoppage time winner. Really important touch away from Akumu. Is this the chance that the Warriors were looking for? God knows Mawira trotting across to deliver this dead ball. Well, game in a few days' time. What a huge boost it would be for them to snatch the victory. It's horribly overhit, and ultimately that has been the issue today. Just not enough quality in the final third. Abutoma with the ball forward. Kenya again looking for the free kick, and again the referee playing on as the ball is lifted over the top, looking for the run of Sendami, and that will probably be that. Well, these 2 teams, credit to them, they've both tried to find a way to win this game. Just hasn't been the necessary quality in the opposition penalty box from either team. May still be time for one last chance for Kenya. Onyango trying to get away from Zamora. He's conceded the free kick, and Harambee is the Zimbabwe coach, who looks frustrated. And on the whole, I think he can be quite encouraged by a lot of what he's seen from his team today. Given where the Zimbabwe national team have come from, Harambee now looking to really help develop this Zimbabwean team. And they're off to a relatively encouraging start. African Cup of Nations in Morocco. A goalless draw here today in Kampala with Kenya. The Harambee Stars deprived of home advantage today, forced to play this game in the Ugandan capital, and really on balance Zimbabwe were more likely winners. They had a couple of decent chances in the first half, a couple of decent chances in the second half too. Kenya, plenty of hard work and effort from them, but just not enough quality. And Kamapilya still going strong. the veteran Zimbabwe will take plenty of encouragement from this result today. It finishes